Okay, so we're here in the kitchen. So what I did is, probably should have done this beforehand, but I thought of making the video after I rubbed these down. So all I did here is I got 3 racks of baby back ribs. I just got them at the local supermarket, no big deal. Trimmed a little bit of the fat off. And then probably the most important thing to do, what I did here is, you got to there's like a membrane on the backs of the ribs. It's like a really thin skin membrane. You're just going to want to peel that off. You just use a sharp knife and get under it and then peel it off, because it stops some of the rub from getting into the meat, some of the smoke flavor from getting into the meat, and just makes it more tender, juicier, all that stuff. So rip that off, clean them up nice with cold water, pat them dry. And so I put this rub on the night before, so it's just my own kind of rub that I made here. I'm gonna put the recipe in the description, so it'll have everything you need. It's pretty basic. It's all stuff you should have at home or very easy to get. So, and it shows you the quantities, everything. So you can make your own rub, super easy. It's the rub I've been using for years. And in order to put it on, I do it the night before. I just put a little bit of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil on it, just to kind of wet it so that the rub sticks. And I just take my jar and I sprinkle over top, I pat it down, and then I literally just put it in the fridge like this overnight. And so the stage we're at right now, I've taken these out of the fridge and we're about an hour before putting them on the grill so they can kind of get a little closer to room temperature. So we'll put those off to the side. And then also when we're barbecuing the ribs, like I said, we're gonna be doing it for about 4 to 5 hours. So every 45 minutes, you're gonna wanna keep them moist in some way. A lot of different ways to do this. The way I've been doing it for years is apple cider vinegar and olive oil mixture. So it's about like 60-40, but what I usually just do is 2 quarter cups of the apple cider vinegar and a quarter cup of olive oil. And throughout the cook, every 45 minutes, like I said, you're just gonna brush a little bit of it on, and it's just keeping that moisture in the ribs, and it really makes it really nice in the end. So we'll just mix that up right now. I've only got a little bit left, so I think I'll maybe be able to get 2 quarter cups out of this. There's 1. Okay, maybe not. There's 2. Okay, so we're close there. So maybe put a little bit less olive oil. So we'll go about 3/4 of that. Okay, so you just put that in there like that. Super simple, and you're just going to use that to keep the ribs moist as you're cooking them. So we'll give it about an hour. Show you guys how to fire up the grill with the charcoal and all that stuff, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay, so we're just getting the grill fired up here. Using charcoal this time. Sometimes I just burn wood in this thing, like hickory or apple or maple. So this is a homemade barbecue, obviously. It's made out of a hot water tank. It was pretty straightforward to build. Just cut the side out of it there, as you can see. Welded a door on, some wheels, a smokestack. But if you don't have one of these, like, it's not the end of the world. You can buy them. They sell them at all like the home improvement stores. They're a little smaller, but it's the same idea. You essentially have like a burn box where you have a fire, or you put your charcoal in, and then you have an area where you cook. So as long as you have something like that, you can make this happen. So what I'm doing here is I'm just filling it with the charcoal right now, getting ready to light it, and I'm keeping all the charcoal sort of back towards the door so that the heat is not directly on the ribs. It's kind of just heating that chamber, and then the smoke would go by the ribs and out that round smokestack you see at the back there. Okay, so just getting ready to light the charcoal here. If you've never lit charcoal before, you just use charcoal lighter, which is this fluid here in the blue bottle. Let it soak for 3 to 5 seconds, I think, and then hit it with the lighter. And what that does is it brings the coals back up to temperature, and then eventually the flames die down, and they sort of just smolder, and they give off heat, and they burn really evenly and nicely. Okay, so also I took the temperature probes you see there out of my Weber barbecue. I think it's called the iGrill. Yeah, the iGrill system. So it just has these like wired temperature sensors on it, and it's just Wi-Fi to your phone. So I just took it off my grill, put it into this thing, and it allows me to know the temperature right at the cooking surface, which is super important. And there's the coals kind of dying down, last bit of the flames before it starts to even out. And basically we're trying to get a cooking surface temperature of 250 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's the temperature we want to keep this grill at for the whole time we're cooking the ribs. So 250 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature you want to keep it at. And then we're looking for a final internal temperature of the ribs to be between 160 and 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, here, so one probe's at 310, one's at 199, so on average it's around 250 on the grilling surface there. So that's what we're looking for. And so we're just going to put the ribs down, and we're not going to flip them or anything. They're going to stay in this position for the whole time we're cooking, the full 4 to 5 hours. And I got a couple more of those probes now, and they're actually going to go right into the meat. So we'll end up putting one in this one, and then moving the rack right over, putting the second rack of ribs, and then the third rack of ribs, and I'll just put a probe in the 2 outside ones, and that'll give me a close enough temperature of everything in the grill. Okay, we're only about 20 minutes in, but my temperature is looking pretty consistent. So that one probe right by the fire is 361, and the one at the far end is 235. So pretty good, comfortable temperature to be between 225 and 250 at the cooking surface. So at this point, we're gonna add a little bit of real wood. Not that the charcoal isn't, but we're gonna put some hickory in. So you can use this stuff. You can just buy this at any store. It's just chips of whatever wood you like. You can use hickory, or apple is pretty awesome. There's even cherry wood. Or you can just use real chunks of wood. So we cut up hickory and apple, same kind of thing. You can just make little strips out of this, or chunks if you want, whatever's easier. I'm just gonna use this for today, just because it's more like home friendly, I guess. So people at their house can pick this up pretty easily. And just throw a couple pieces on there. We're getting the heat from the charcoal, but we want the smoke flavor from the wood. So that's kind of what we're after. I'm actually able to keep the temperature pretty consistent with the door open, and then everything else kind of shut. I've got the vent open about halfway there, and the flames will go down on that. So you got to watch it when it's doing this, because this is where it creates a lot of heat. But then once those flames die down, it'll sort of even back out. Okay, so we're about 45 minutes in. We're going to do the wetting, mopping process. And we'll put a little bit more charcoal on.
just about to mop them again. So got the charcoal going nice. And I just got a little piece of hickory in there kind of off to the side, so it's just creating smoke but no flames, which is nice. And it's been in there for about an hour, so it's giving off some nice smoke. And put some more of this little mixture on. Okay, we're getting up to the last hour here, so 4 hours in, and we're gonna do one final step here that's gonna make them super tender. So we're just gonna grab some foil, and we're gonna pull these probes out. And we're gonna lay some foil on the grill, about double the length of each rack. Right up there like that. Make kind of this shape. We're going to take some more of that mop that on. This will help break down the meat even further. Here, to make it louder now. Seal those up. Like that, and we'll do that to the other two.
Looks good.
Okay, here we go, last step. We're gonna take it off the grill. Right there. Woo. This is about an hour later. There. On the cutting board. Up. Right. Cut these babies up. Oh. Awesome. All right.